Before we begin today's episode, we need to give a very special shout out to our editor, Skull. Not only does Skull manage to edit every video in less than 24 hours, doing most of the work on Mondays, sometimes, like this weekend, he'll even write the majority of the script that we use for our episodes.
And so, even though we've said it many times over, Necro News would be a shell of its current state without this absolute giga chat of gaming behind us. So join us in giving a round of applause and our thanks to our boy Skull.
Thank you.
Let's begin Necro News with Silksong.
So our last episode came out on April Fool's Day, and maybe some of you noticed, but we totally forgot.
Other game media outlets didn't though, and some of the jokes were pretty decent, I'm not gonna lie. Others are not very good, like these. Fuck you, .hackers.
And let's not forget Xbox enabling players to add Silksong to their wishlist.
But wait, that wasn't an April Fool's joke. The page is still up, and Xbox marketing manager Tal Sila also confirmed this was legit.
And if you're still not convinced, it also received its official age rating in South Korea back in February.
That said, Team Cherry still hasn't said anything about an official release day, but it should be by the end of the year, if previous games are anything to go by.
Welcome to Necro News, where we cover the hottest gaming news in the last week. This week we'll be covering fans keeping Friday the 13th alive, StopKillingGames.com, the Kyoto Police arresting the Nintendo bomber, and more.
So subscribe and hit that bell icon if you want to keep up to date on all the hottest gaming news. Friday the 13th is a series that has many fantastic entries, with wonderful scenes such as this.
You guys might want to run.
And this.
Yo, man, it's cool. It's cool, man. It's cool.
Also, Jason himself is probably responsible for the fan favorite killer in Dead by Daylight, the Trapper. That's not a known fact, it's just speculation, but I mean, come on. Look at him.
My stupid husband's idea isn't completely unfounded, as the Friday the 13th game was in development and released only a year after DBD came out. And with the way DBD loves to add horror icons such as Freddy, Chucky, Pinhead, and Ripley's newest Chew toy, Jason is noticeably missing from the roster, with many looking at Trapper as the obvious stand-in. That may change as the Friday the 13th game is going to be taken offline at the end of the year.
Not that that matters though, as fans have created the mod Friday the 13th Resurrected, which is slated to release on April 15th.
Shut the fuck up about it! We don't want to know! No, seriously, shut the fuck up!
Back in December, we reported on Nintendo receiving persistent threats to the safety of company employees, tournament organizers, and spectators. These threats were edgy and often enough that Nintendo didn't want to chance anything, and canceled all of their tournaments and events for December of 2023 and January of this year.
And now we have an update. An arrest was made, with the suspect being described as a 27-year-old employee of Hitachi City.
Hitachi City sounds like a place full of good vibes.
I don't get it.
Of course you don't.
It has a mind of its own!
But anyway, according to the Kyoto Police, he admitted to the charges of obstructing business operations. Police also stated, there's no doubt that he posted many things, such as saying he would commit suicide.
Sudoku. He's gonna commit Sudoku. We can't actually read the things that the Nintendoomer, that's what I'm calling him, said, but here, it's over there on the screen. He sent 39 of them. 39. Real edgy dude.
After the Kyoto Animation arson attack 5 years ago. Was that really 5 years ago?
Yeah.
I still haven't mentally recovered from that. Anyway, it's honestly no surprise they took it as seriously as they did. That said, we don't know how much time he's earned with these charges, nor do we know if Nintendo is going to reschedule their events.
Oh, cool! That guy! He's famous!
Not exactly.
Oh, Tameem, the man who was responsible for arguably the worst entry in the Devil May Cry series.
Not in a million years.
But paved the way for the best version.
¿Mi madre? No conozco a mi madre, pero no eres el primero que me llama hijo de perra.
And it seems that Tameem, the co-founder of Ninja Theory, has just kind of fucked off, I guess. During the preview for Hellblade 2, Polygon realized that there was no mention of Tameem in the credits, despite being the chief creative director for the company.
The spokesperson for Xbox stated that he's no longer with the studio, though where he's at now remains unknown. This is only a little weird because Hellblade 1 is his baby, but oh well, who cares about Tameem the meme. Really, we just wanted to cover the story to show off more of Dante el Exterminados de Demonios.
¡Que te jodan!
Pause the fucking video. We need to have a discussion. Did you guys know that Dino Blade was an actual game? I'm not memeing. This is a game where you play as a dinosaur wielding a giant fucking weapon or a scythe if you feel like it. Seems like the guy that created the game originally, Gene Ewan, was so motivated by all of the support he got for his silly little animations that he's making a full-ass game about it. I don't know how long this has been going on, but I have seen literally nobody talking about this shit. So, yeah, go support him on Patreon right now because I want to play a game where I can be a T-Rex wielding a fucking scythe. God, this is cool. Give me a tank. Hey you! Do you like buying games only for companies to abandon them a year later and take away all your means of playing them again? If you said yes, you're a f***ing liar.
There's been a growing issue where AAA publishers are releasing games tied to a server or system owned by them. If you played The Crew, any gacha games, or even Helldivers 2, you're familiar with the practice. Publishers have skirted around traditional consumer laws by stating that you're not buying the game itself but the license. But since when did the license turn into a rental?
And to make it worse, the publishers don't care how many people lose access when they go offline. The Crew, a game that we spoke about some time ago, is now offline and unplayable as of March of this year, permanently. What we didn't know when we covered the game was that a total of 12 million people can no longer play The Crew. And one man from Civil Protection can't take it anymore. Ross Scott, the creator of Freeman's Mind, Ross's Game Dungeon, and The Movie, has spent the better part of 3 months researching legal avenues to stop this practice of abandoning games.
And with these efforts, he's launched the Stop Killing Games campaign and its website, stopkillinggames.com. If you're an owner of The Crew, the website has been tailor-made to make it easy for you to understand how you can help, no matter where you are in the world. Now, if you don't own The Crew, don't move on to the next story just yet, because you can still be helpful.
Not everyone who owns The Crew has heard of this campaign, with there being 12 million owners, some being unaware is guaranteed. If you do know someone who owns the game, or even if you don't, spread the word. If you're not in the US, you may find that you can also make your voice heard with a government petition. StopKillingGames.com will also help with this.
And if this sounds like a sponsored segment, it's not. Those of you who stuck with Necro News know that we're strong advocates for game archiving, so we want this shit to end. And if you do too, head to StopKillingGames.com.
That belongs in a museum!
Hey boomers, did you know that Shadows of Mordor is really fucking easy? Shadows of Mordor, more like Shadows of Murder.
Okay, but is this relevant at all?
Yes, because apparently the key feature for the game was not actually made for the game. The Nemesis system, that thing that makes the Orcs or whatever they're called hate you, was actually made for a Batman game based on the Christopher Nolan universe, which makes a lot more sense.
And we're talking about this now because the Twitter/X user named Spidey Ranger recently posted images, footage, and details about the canceled game, shown here.
911, what's your emergency? Yeah, I live in Kirkland Apartments, and across the street it looks like some guys are trying to break in. Sorry, that area of the city is in lockdown at this time.
Apparently, it would have played similarly to the Arkham Batman games, but with the Nolan Batman aesthetic and the Nemesis system to make it stand out.
But the Nolanverse game was eventually cancelled because Warner Brothers thought it might have been a bad idea to pit 2 different Batman games against each other, and thus we have Shadows of Mordor.
Which honestly is pretty dumb. They should have just put the system in the Arkham games instead.
I don't even have a witty thing to say, they're just really bad at making games.
This week's Buried Alive Banger, a segment where we cover a game that our community doesn't think has had enough attention, is called Infection Free Zone.
If you're looking at the trailer behind us, you may just think this is a usual Project Zombie-like game, but you're wrong! It's a city builder, and a tower defense, and it's a zombie game where you use Google Maps to pick a real place in the world to make your base. That's fucking cool! Check it out, it's out on the 11th, let's go.
I have a bad feeling about this.
To all survivors, this is an infection-free zone.
And here are the games coming out this week.
I don't know any of these games that are coming out. I feel like I should, but I don't. And here's our schedule. We'll be doing a really fun stream where we go through the entire SNES, PS1, and probably PS2 libraries to explore hidden gems with chat. Maybe we'll even play a few.
That's it for this week's Necro News. If you like what we do here and want to keep up to date, consider subscribing to the channel.
And as always, a very special thank you to all of our channel members and coffee members. We really appreciate all the support you guys give us.
And if you made it this far into the video, be sure to put a zombie emoji in the comments.
That's all we have this week, so until next time everyone, goodbye!
Bye.